This show is brought to you by iRacing.com, where you can get 2 free months with the purchase of 1 for only $12 by going to iRacing.com/membership.
Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Darren Ganji, and today we have our first look at, actually, not only the first look at these pedals, but the first time we've ever had a high-end set of pedals on the show to review. These are the DSD Wilwood Load Cell pedals by Derek Spear Designs. You can go to derekspeardesigns.com if you want to check them out. Full review is going to be coming later this month or early in July once I get them installed, get some time with them, really put them through their paces. Gonna run them with iRacing, Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, R Factor 2, probably even go back to Game Stock Car and give them a try. Maybe even run them with some Simcade titles like Grid Autosport, see what they're like. So, gonna take our time with them, put them through their paces, and I figure give you guys a first look at these. I haven't even tried them yet, and show you what they're all about, talk about the specs, prices, all that stuff, some of the functionality, and then part 2 of this, again, coming either later this month, most likely early in July. Talk about the pros, cons, put them on our 5-point rev scale, and tell you what they're all about. I'm going to be the primary reviewer on this. Jason will definitely get a chance to test them out, and he'll be on my final review as well and give you his opinion. Anyway, let's get going. So these have been out since about March of this year, 2014, and have been coming out in different batches. Derek, I believe, is now going into batch 5, and throughout the different batches, or batch process, I guess you could call it, he's made some changes as he's gone along based on customers' feedback, and more changes are going to be coming, and I'll talk about those as we go. So these go for $695 in the US, $795 internationally. And that includes shipping. That's why it's $795 international. Shipped to you via postal service. Comes in a 14 by 14 box, heavily wrapped in bubble wrap, so shouldn't have any problem getting to your door as far as damage goes, unless the post office completely destroys the box. But package weighs about 18 pounds, so pedals weigh about 17 pounds, so pretty substantial. So let's talk about these things. Derek has basically taken an off-the-shelf Wilwood racing pedal set and engineered components which bolt right onto the rack to convert them for sim racing use. You could literally take these parts, well, not these parts, not the stuff that he's converted for sim racing or engineered for sim racing, but you could take the base pedal set and put them in your race car or regular car if you want to make it super racy. And again, he's converted them to a load cell brake and for use on the PC. PC only, by the way. You can't use these on the console unless you do have some kind of converter or something, but that's a lot of money to spend on a console system. But if you want to, hey, all the power to you. The brake pedal system uses a 100-kilogram load cell element that's put into a compact mechanism that's located right in here. The throttle and clutch use 1 million life cycle potentiometers. That got one here and one here next to the clutch. The load cell has an integrated load cell amp, and they're connected to the DSD 12-bit controller. So if you have a set of Club Sport pedals, you're familiar with the variable sensitivity adjustment. This has the same type of thing. So you can adjust it for light pressure, or actually, as he puts it, and it's on his website, you could do it for light leg or gorilla leg. The brake pedal has 4,096 steps of resolution, and again, you can adjust that sensitivity with that knob. Pedal system comes ready to go. All you need to, well, actually you need a USB cable that's not provided, and the USB is like if you have Club Sport pedals, you'd use the same cable there, or it's like a printer cable. If you don't have it, Radio Shack, Best Buy probably has them. Your local electronics stores probably got them. They may even have them at some of the big chain stores like a Walmart or something like that. I can't guarantee it, but I wouldn't be surprised. They're pre-mounted to a 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter thick plate of anti-static UHMV composite. And it comes pre-drilled, so you can mount it in a couple different configurations. One is at all four corners, which is pretty much standard to his base plate. Or he's actually even got holes drilled. Let's see if I can hold them up there for you guys. Kind of see the holes there. He's also got holes drilled that are the same mounting points as G27 or G25 pedals. And then he sends you these inserts that are M6 threaded on the inside. So you put the inserts, screw the inserts into those holes. And I think I'm going to use those on the four corners actually, and use those to mount to 80/20 extrusion tubing, which I have a lot of on Frankenrig back there. That's what I'm going to be installing it to. But if you have, I don't want to call it off the shelf rig, but a rig from, you know, RC or GT Omega or, you know, one of those companies that's pre-drilled for, you know, Fanatec, Logitech, Thrustmaster, these again are drilled just like a G27, and most rigs that, you know, a Butto, most rigs come today pre-drilled for these pedals. You just have to use, you know, get some M6 bolts. They do not come with M6 bolts, so you'd have to go out and get your own if you don't have any already. A lot of configurations come with those too. Well, I think Fanatec does. I'm not sure anybody else does. They have tested and verified functionality on Windows 7, 8, and 8.1. So calibrate them, you know, in Windows, or like for iRacing, calibrate it in iRacing, and then you're ready to go. Now, if you're using one of the other titles, Derek recommends using DX Tweak, which is basically DirectX function tweaker, I guess is a good way to put it. I have messed with it a little bit, it's been a long time, but to get some of those other titles to work properly, you need to use DX Tweak to set your pedals up properly. And you can go to Derek's website and there's a full tutorial on how to do that. And actually in my final review, I'll go over that as well and let you guys know how I did it and show you some, you know, screen capture and stuff like that. Pedals do allow for some adjustment. All three actually do. And so if you want to adjust the throw on the throttle, there's two stops, one in the front and one in the back. And basically, there's one right here inside the pedal and then one in the front. You basically either tighten or loosen those bolts, and you can either shorten or lengthen your throw. You can also shorten or lengthen this spring for more or less tension. Good tension on the spring, you know. I'd say, you know, set like Club Sports have really light tension. These are definitely more like a real car as far as the tension goes. Let's see what else. Brake pedal you can adjust. You back these two bolts off. Actually, maybe it's these two bolts. That makes more sense. These two bolts right here, because they're hooked up to the spring. You back those two bolts off, I believe. And I'll tell you in the final review, but just one turn, Derek is saying, to make the pedal not as stiff, because this is probably the stiffest brake pedal I've felt. And here, I mean, even just holding the back, I could barely move this with my hand. So lots of pressure on that brake. Pedal faces come with some grip tape. He's also got a new design that says, these say Wilwood here, but he's got a new design that he's coming up with. He showed us in our forums. Speaking of which, Derek frequents our forums at isrtv.com, so if you want to talk to Derek direct, go in the peripherals section, and he's posting information about these, about new sequential shifter he's coming out with, so you can talk to Derek direct, and he gets back to you pretty quick. Anyway, you're going to need a set of shoes running these pedals, and I'd say even with the other one that he's going to provide, the other pedal face, you're going to need a set of shoes because of how stiff this brake is. I can't imagine really running in socks. If you wonder why I usually run in socks, is because all the off-the-shelf stuff, Thrustmaster, Logitech, Fanatec, they don't have a real pedal feel like in a car. So these are you're gonna have to apply more pressure, like I said, especially on this brake. And luckily I have a set of Simpson shoes, but maybe you can get a set of wrestling shoes, or, you know, an affordable set of racing shoes, or, you know, you could even go in your tennis shoes if you wanted, they'll work. But I definitely recommend some kind of racing shoe. So another thing I'd like to add is our pedals came with some bushings in here that don't come standard yet. Currently, it looks like the stop is when this bolt hits this plate here. And we've got this what's called a soft stop option, which basically stops on the bushing. So Derek mentioned if I wanted to, I could take this apart and take those out, take these bushings out and run without it. Or maybe I can run with just some of them. Actually, I don't think that would work because it would leave a space here, a gap. But anyway, I just wanted to mention this. If you got a set, you're wondering why these bushings are here, it's because, again, we've got this option that he's testing. And I'll either run with or without it, I'm not sure. A couple more things before I wrap it up. You can also get this optional heel plate that I wanted, just to add, you know, a little step up, and installs easily. It goes for $47.50. Also has some rubber bumpers there on the bottom, so it kind of flattens out nicely for you. But basically install that there, install the pedal plate there, and you got a little step up. So, you know, I definitely want to have something I can put my heel on there. Also, they've got a new lean back option that they've come up with that leans the pedals back about 10 degrees. So if you have one of those rigs from the companies I mentioned before, these may, you know, a lot of them have a rake on the pedal deck. So these pedals are going to be sitting like this on you. So with that rake, you know, you'll be able to you know, make them more, you know, the pedal face more flat, you know, pointing at you. I'm not going to have this problem back on Frankenrig because I can configure them any way I want. So it's definitely not going to be an issue, especially the way I have my seat set up. If you've already bought these pedals and you want that lean back option, Derek will basically sell you the parts at his cost, $38.70 if you're here in the States, $49.80 if you're an international customer. So that's about it. As far as what I've got to say about these right now, I got to say I am really looking forward to putting some mileage on these things and seeing how hard it is to push that brake and seeing if I need to back off those nuts a little bit or those bolts. Hopefully I won't. You know, hopefully I can just use the sensitivity adjuster and get them to where I like them. And I'd like to thank Derek for sending us this set to evaluate. I know Jason's really looking forward to checking them out too. Go to Derek Spear Designs if you're interested in getting a set, and otherwise if you want to wait for our review, it's, like I said, it's going to be out early in July. You can visit us at our website, got a link right here, and you can click on it to take you right to our site, or if you're on a mobile or a tablet, come to isrtv.com. If you want to go to our forums, isrtv.com/forums, and go to our peripherals section under hardware, and you can talk to Derek. You know, check out there's some customers. Actually, real quick, there's a guy that bought these and was running them with socks, and it sounds like he wore a hole in his big toe because of the grip tape on there. So he's in the market for some shoes now. So this is a beefy set of pedals, and you know, Derek Spear usually makes some really high quality stuff, and again, I'm really looking forward to checking them out. Thanks again, Derek. Thank you for watching. I'm Darren Ganji. Oh, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us here on YouTube. That's going to wrap it up. See you guys next time.